This is Kai Wheeler from KaiWheeler.com, and this is episode 2 of a series I am doing on pain management. Getting a handle on what you can do about the chronic aches and pains brought on by life is crucial because it largely influences the sustainability of your workout program. If you are constantly in pain or you're constantly battling chronic pain, the chances are you won't be able to adhere to a consistent training regimen. Today I'm covering a myofascial release technique used to relieve pain in your hips, buttock, and lower back. There are several muscle tissues that contribute to pain in these areas, but today I will be covering the main culprit, which is the piriformis. The piriformis is located deep beneath the gluteal muscles between the sacrum and the greater trochanter. Its primary function is external hip rotation and hip abduction. Overuse by quick changes in direction during athletics or underuse, especially sitting for long periods of time, can cause trigger points to form in the piriformis. Now, a tight piriformis can lead to impingement of the sciatic nerve. The sciatic nerve is a very sensitive nerve which can send pain to the lower back, the hips, and the glutes. So let's get started on how to release this trigger point. All we need for this release is a lacrosse ball, and then the mat is optional. So let me begin by showing you how to locate this trigger point. So we want to locate the hip joint and then the sacrum, and we will begin at the hip joint and go midway between the hip joint and the sacrum. And so it's going to be quite a bit lower than the glute medius was, and it's going to be pretty deep. So from here, we want to settle onto the lacrosse ball similarly to when we did the gluteus medius release. And you'll know where you are because it should be tender. So from here, hang out on that spot for about a minute or two, and then you're going to go a little more toward the sacrum. So there are a couple trigger points around this area, just find where it's tender. I just had to catch myself because you want to make sure that you don't come too far forward with your shoulders when you're doing this. You want to keep good posture throughout doing your releases. Okay, so following a release, you also want to do a stretch. So let me go ahead and show you how to stretch the piriformis. I'm going to show you 3 piriformis stretches that are great to really lengthen that muscle tissue. So the first one will be called figure 4. So begin with your knees bent. You're going to place one ankle over the opposite knee and bring your hips or your butt toward your heels or your heels toward your butt. Now the goal is for this leg to be straight across. Sometimes when people are inflexible, it's more like this. The goal is to get your heel as close to your butt as possible and keep that leg straight. Also, make sure that you're not rounding and slumping your shoulders. Keep your shoulder blades retracted. Okay, the next stretch I will cover is called a pigeon stretch. So you're going to bring your shin flush with the ground, and you're going to bring that back leg behind you, toes on the ground, toes pointed, and reach forward. Relax into the stretch. So make sure your hips are square this way. For those of you that aren't very flexible, this stretch can be difficult on the ground, so I'm going to show you a way that you can do it on the bench. Place your shin onto the bench, dropping that back knee down toward the ground. Make sure you begin with your hips square. So from here, make sure that leg is as straight as possible. You're going to reach, lean forward, retract your shoulder blades, and try to relax. The whole point of the stretch is to relax. Once again, this is called pigeon stretch. Thanks so much for joining me for this video. I will be posting many more like it. I highly recommend doing the release before the stretch. The release can be done before the workout without the stretch if you'd like to, but after the workout, make sure you do the release followed by the stretch. For the release point, you can hold that, between the different trigger points, I would recommend about 5 minutes each side, and as far as the stretching goes, you want to hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds. Thanks for joining me for this video. I hope you liked it, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day.